Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. We are so back for Mufc Realist TV, and we are going to roast the Spurs. Are we? We're going to talk about the technical analysis regarding the first game we played. It wasn't pretty, but it was 3 points. 3-point respect. And oh my God, what's going on in the transfer market? It's so been crazy. We did a podcast regarding Jurgen Klopp and being flop and being hijacked, and now we've seen the latest news regarding Michael Elise from Crystal Palace and the Palace threatening for legal actions, basically. He snubbed Chelsea. But, you know, you can't have it all, Todd Bowley. You can't have the cookie and eat it at the same time. You already snubbed poor Klopp out of 2 of your major signings, and now you're trying to snub by activating the release clause of Michael Elise. But he signed a new contract, new deal. They threatened Chelsea to actually take them to court because what they did was never to speak to Crystal Palace. They went straight to the player, Michael Elise, and he agreed. The deal is off. The deal is off. So gloves is off. Gloves is off. And hopefully you will smash the like button because we are here. We have, who else do we have? I see here in the background in the green room. I see Jarvis just pulled out. Like Klopp, he pulled the hamstring. We have an old fart in Phil as well, who also pulled a butt string, to be honest. But before we continue, please, you know what to do. Like and subscribe because we are getting to Rumble.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on Mufc Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Hi guys, welcome back. This is me, Harry Maguire. I've been training for 3 weeks. I want to get back into the top. I want to prove to everyone that I can still play for Manchester United. Welcome back, guys. How are we doing? Phil, it's been a hot minute. How are you, mate?
How are we doing, everybody? I wasn't too impressed with a little introduction, all farting Phil. I just like to point out, I think I am possibly the youngest here, so make of that what you will, guys.
Oh shit! Snickers deduction incoming. Well, how you been? You've been packing. You're flying off tomorrow. So I heard.
Yeah. I cannot wait. So I've been working all day, and then straight after work, just packing as much as we could, just trying to get it all sorted out. We're not flying till tomorrow evening, but it's just got to get it done. Got to get it packed. Got to get it ready. My commitment was if it was packed tonight, I could join the show. So I did. I played my part, and here I am.
Yeah, Jarvis, sing with me. He works hard for his Snickers. So hard for his Snickers. He works hard for his Snickers so he can travel to Mallorca. Welcome. Big up, Phil. Big up, Phil.
So he forgets Snickers or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It just, Mallorca just doesn't rhyme. So.
Oh, well, watch out. I'm in a good mood. I have my swiveling chair. Jarvis.
Yes.
You made it. You made it on time. What's the occasion? What's the special occasion?
No, it's no special occasion. I got my kids to bed early. Finally.
Well, what did you feed them? What did you put in that Norwegian salmon of yours?
No, just regular sandwich with strawberry jam and milk. That's what I eat.
Milk in a sandwich?
Oh, really? Oh. Wait. We're missing something here, guys. Listen, did you hear about this crazy story about Michael Elise? What a crazy story, Jarvis, right?
Yeah, fill me in. I haven't been able to watch all the news today. I've been working.
Okay, I will fill you in. Yeah, I will fill you in, because we're playing Spurs and we're going to have stuffed turkey, yeah? So I will fill you in, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently...
Christmas jokes.
Yeah, it's not Christmas yet. Sorry, Mick.
No.
VR room. Hi, how you doing, Vero? Don't give me a red card. Please, please, please forgive me. I know what I said. Please forgive. Anyway, I'm in a good mood. Mick has his whole house for himself, wife gone out, but with that comes responsibilities. I didn't realize that I have to now water all the plants, vacuum the house, make it clean, and feed the kids and all that stuff. So yeah, double the job. I thought it was be easy. Anyway, Jarvis, story is that Todd Bowley, how he hijacked. Somebody has some echo on there. I get some feedback there. But Jarvis, that Todd Bowley hijacked Klopp, right? He made Klopp cry twice, and today Klopp cried for the third time with the news of Amrabat not wanting to join either. So he's been snubbed 3 times. Now Todd Bowley, on the other hand, is that kid that wants it all, right? So he basically took Lavia, he took Casado, and they tried to steal, from Crystal Palace, Michael Elise, right? So they had an agreement with Elise because they triggered this release clause. I think it was, Phil, 35 million pounds, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. About 30, 35, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is they never spoke to the club regarding this. So what Crystal Palace did is they didn't like it. They said, we're going to challenge you in court. We're going to pull you to court, Todd Bowley. So Todd Bowley backed off, and they offered Elise another 4 years renewal contract, which he signed today. Didn't he, Phil?
Yeah. So basically, I forgot the what's his name? The
Fabrizio.
No, the manager, the CEO of Crystal Palace. Someone throw it in the mix. Blonde guy, can't think. Anyway, always on TalkSport. Can't think of his name. He'll come back to me in a minute. He basically said, no, absolutely not. I just made up to see it because we're seeing all this Chelsea throwing the money around. It's really funny, absolutely, seeing them just taking them, all the Liverpool players. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. I saw a little meme today about someone saying that Liverpool that Harry Maguire was up for sale, and Chelsea said they weren't falling for that one. So it was worth a try, but no, he's not going. But no, Elise, I think, the 35 million, he's turned around, he signed a new contract. And big up to him, because at the end of the day, he stayed loyal to his club. He's not just kind of jumped for the money. He's not gone to Al Attiyal or whoever it is over in Dubai and that, where everyone's just going whenever there's a move. They either go there or Chelsea at the moment. And it's great to see that he's thinking, he's only a young lad. He joined Crystal Palace 2.5 seasons ago, something like that. Absolutely fantastic. Hit the ground running, bedding in really well with Eduard and stuff like that. You can see that Sahar's left the team. He's obviously gone to Dubai, and he's got a good chance in this team. He's got a real chance to make something of himself. And he's not been persuaded by the mega bucks and the promise of joining this monster that's being created in Chelsea. So fair play to him, and well done to Simon something. I'm nearly there. It's coming back to me.
Simon from TalkSports.
Yeah, he's Crystal Palace CEO, isn't he, or something like that? Somebody in the VAR room shouted out. It's driving me mad. But yeah, anyway, he's basically given him his new contract, and he's stayed up and he stayed for it. So I'd love to just see the fact that it's the end of the Chelsea. I won't say the end of the Chelsea juggernaut, but it's put a halt in it a little bit. They can't just go out and buy anyone by going, oh, come here, over here. People are starting to realise that that there isn't that much space for everybody. You've got to fight for your place.
Yeah. Neil Driscoll is saying Simon Jordan. That's the name.
Thank you. That's it. I knew
Big
it.
up Neil Driscoll. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of. But fair play to him. He's one who's always stands up and says something. As much as TalkSport gets a lot of hate, when Simon Jordan sometimes often says something, he can be quite spot on the nail. He doesn't get beaten up about it. He's prepared to come out and fight, and he's done exactly that. And he's pictured today with Elise after he signed his new contract, big smiles, saying, "Yeah, away we go." So, absolutely.
Yep. Jarvis, Phil. We have so many people in the chat room. We cannot neglect this because we have to go to the VR room. Guys, you both have controls as well. Let me know who's in the VR room as well. I see Stephen Welsh is in the VR room. Who else do we see? Edward Reed is in here as well. Okay. Jamie Vane, one of our moderators, our own little pit bull, Jamie Vane. I hope you're cool and composed. I've been telling you, man. Get off your meds. Just joking, man. Seriously. Who else do we have in the house, guys? Can we give it some shout out? Let's warm up, right? Jamie Wayne,
we
Stephen
got
Welsh.
ML. Do you recognize ML? Hi guys.
ML. Hi guys. Hi ML. How you doing? And
possibly somebody new, not sure. William Connolly.
Evening, William. Billy boy, how you doing, mate? And Yoli Malmin is in the house. Bestie is in the house. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Blackwood is in the house as well. Blackwood.
Dwayne, good evening. Back at work in the USA. Good evening.
Yeah, Dwayne Blackwood was the one that had his child in hospital for a long time. He messaged us the other day to say that his son is back. So big up to all of you. Shout out for Mr. Blackwood. And V Cobra is also in the VR room, guys. Who else is in the Milos Mitic? What will we be doing without? Yeah, Dobro večer.
Dobro večer.
Dobro večer. Okay, now we can continue. We have to say dobro večer. That means good evening in Serbian, guys. Okay, who else?
We'll put that was Jamie Wayne. Good evening. Lovely comment. Comment of the night. Save it.
That's it.
I mean, that's when I was getting ribbed at the beginning about being old or something. So, ITN, big the family, respect for your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Reggie. Best, we've said that. Hurry to and we've got Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan. Hur är läget?
Neil's in the house. Quickly scrolling through. Have I missed anybody? I don't think.
Come on, we're stretching, we're warming up. Come on, we're gonna roast the Spurs.
Commented. I think I've grabbed everyone so far who's commented. If I've missed you, there we go. Stephen Welsh. Yeah, evening.
Oh, I love that picture. That's from the young ones. That's Neil.
Yeah, and that is the. Everybody, I've quickly scrolled through any comments that I can see.
No. You have Abrams Glazer's Ponytail is in the house as well. Saying hello all. And Reber is in the house as well. I can see this. Nico is also in the house as well. Nico.
Rushmano.
Good evening, Nico. Abram Glazer's Ponytail. There we go. Love that name. Fantastic. And yeah, that's it. That I think now I've caught everybody.
Yeah. We're waiting for the.
Thank you all for joining us. And if we catch anybody else, any more comments, we'll give you a quick shout out. So
yeah, but you know what? Guys, stop. We're missing a key member. We are absolutely missing a key member. I got the power. Boom, 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 boom. I got the power.
Good evening. Happy.
Pappi, you're on mute, my friend. I'm gonna unmute you, buddy. Oh no. Yeah, no. Stop.
What's up, guys?
I got bad news for you, buddy.
That was the quietest entrance you've ever made.
I was on mute the whole time.
I thought you were broken. I thought somebody were broken.
Pops. I'm like tenhag here right now. Like I got my rules and principles. You came late. Okay. So that is a Snickers deduction. All right. No more Snickers for you. No more Snickers. Okay. I promise.
I'm not in the starting lineup.
You're sitting on the bench tonight. Okay.
Bench warmer.
Thank you. How's your day, Aubrey? All good?
My day has been good. I mean, somebody has to be Pelistri at the end of the day, but that's how a team is formed. So yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm excited. It's match day 2 is coming. It's right around the corner so fast. This week has been just like zooming past. So I'm excited to talk about Spurs and how we're gonna cook Spurs this week.
No, we're gonna roast. We're gonna roast the Spurs.
We're gonna roast them.
We're gonna roast. Listen, don't be like Harry Maguire to sit on the bench for 2 years and collect your Snickers, please. Be genuine. DW is in the house, one of our first team members. Good up to you, mate. So big up to you, Power Hour. Thank you for making it. But I would like to kick off the show like this. Right. We play the game, right? We see in the comments, some of the fan base are just mental, right? You're judging on the first performance. Me and Jarvis talked about potential. What can it be? They played on AstroTurf in US. They traveled. How much did they travel? Like 50 hours collectively, back and forward within the States, right?
Almost 50 hours of travel, 50 hours
but 50
of
hours
waiting.
in airplanes and 50 hours on the airport.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
And you Pappi, you live in Boston, so traveling
Yes.
state to state, like to Las Vegas. Oof.
The US is a whole almost universe by itself. It's a long, long distance. Sometimes the distance is even greater than like New York to London is quicker than like New York to some parts of the West Coast,
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to do here is like, you guys, Pappi, Phil, where did it go wrong? Like, in the first half, or is it like, was it the jet lag, or do you think that nerves? And the second part of this, what we're going to discuss is how do we beat the Spurs? So I give it the mic away to whoever wants to give it a go. Like, should we start with you, Phil? Phil, what do you reckon? What went wrong?
For me, I mean, I think part of the disappointment is, when you see some of the teams putting 4 and 5 goals away, 3, 4, 5 goals, and we were all bouncing, raring to go. I think, and it's a very poor excuse, but it's just another little thing. When you just kind of just sat waiting, you just sat waiting for something to happen, and waiting for the whole weekend, to pass by, and then it finally did, and then it was just like, yeah, it's our turn. Let's get out there. Let's do it. But the adrenaline had got, it sounds awful, but the adrenaline had almost gone. A lot of the adrenaline, which gets you pumped and ready, and it shouldn't have done, because at the end of the day, it's Man United, should be ready for any game. But they just looked from the kickoff like there was no interest. It looked like they were still in pre-season. The movement, the passing was so slow. The tackling was so half-hearted. The touch was so poor. Everything just seemed, I won't say go against us. Everything was just wrong, I think is the first way to put it. I've seen a lot of slating of Mount, and I've seen some stupid comments like, should we give him longer before we longer? Do you know what I mean? He's played his first game. Come on, wake up, people. Have a break. Do you know what I mean? Of course, and I actually think Mason Mount was one of the standout players in the first half for United. Not necessarily by holding his position. I know that was something he didn't do, but what he did do was cover a lot of ground and make a lot of important moves, tackles, passes, interceptions, and get into good positions. I think at the moment Mason Mount is like the new kid who's trying to impress everybody, trying to help his team out. And the thing is, to be fair, in the 85th minute, he was still running like he was in the first. Not the 85th, because he was off by them. But do you know what I mean? When he towards the end of the game, he was still giving his all in every minute he was on that pitch. Yep. And I know that we got the goal after he went off, but I don't think that's because he went off. I think that was just because we were starting to apply the pressure in the second half was better, and we were moving things a bit more. A lot's been said about Casemiro as well, but at the end of the day, Casemiro was a little bit isolated in front of the back four. I think I've said this since the beginning of pre-season on this show. You've heard it many times now. I think Casemiro is looking a little bit short of match fitness, is the politest way of putting it at the moment. He wasn't looking himself. He was making a couple of good passes towards the second half and some good tackles, but a lot of his movement and timing was out. And I think at the moment, everyone's just trying to find themselves where they fit into this sort of developing team that Ten Hag's putting together.
Yeah.
Jarvis, do you agree?
Yeah, Phil makes a lot of good points. When it comes to, for example, Casemiro, he had a bad game and he was way out of position a lot of times. I saw some tactical studies of the game, and he was caught way up too high all the time. He wasn't in his zone. So yeah, that was a bad game from a lot of the people. The only thing I don't agree with Phil is the aggression, because we had the aggression, we started, but it didn't work for us. We were trying really hard. We were trying to be aggressive as I saw it, but we mistimed everything. So the aggression just fizzled out. It didn't happen. So
I think, what do you mean by aggression? Because I think there was moments where we played some good progression, but I just didn't feel that we made much opportunity. You know, we saw pre-season, we saw Sancho missing one in the 3rd minute and stuff like that, and we saw Rashford missing a couple towards the end of the games and stuff. I just felt that we didn't create enough. I thought the aggression was perhaps, if there was any, sort of from the back to the middle. I think Garnacho was the one who everyone was watching, expecting to be this big star. And I think, to be honest, he had one of his worst performances. Not just pointing the finger at him, but his touch and everything. He didn't know where to go. Every time he tried to cut inside, he wasn't, you know, we weren't seeing the overlap from Shaw. There was no cohesion. He just wasn't there. So where do you feel the aggression was? Because I really didn't see it.
I felt that the players were on their toes. They were trying to push hard. They were trying to press high. We were trying to go in the situation that Ten Hag has put us up in the 3-1-6. But the thing is, as you said, there was no cohesion. People were mistiming everything. They weren't pressing together. So for me, and you could see them in the beginning. You know, Garnacho run from one side to the other side, following the ball, while the Wolves defender playing the ball together, you know. So they were running hard, they were trying hard, but it didn't work. And maybe it's match fitness, bad preparations. Maybe Ten Hag, they don't understand quite what Ten Hag wants to do at the moment. Because for me, you know, you have to have, for example, Casemiro someone has to fill in that middle space. But you saw Casemiro was out of position all the time, and what happened? Well, the Wolves, when they got the ball, they just ran. They ran straight through our midfield because there were no one there. That was one of the biggest problems. So, and you know, the usual people who we depend on, like Casemiro and Martinez, weren't up to it against Wolves. So we have to be much better when it comes to the Spurs games, or we will see we will get a beating. That's my prediction.
Okay, Pappi, do you agree with the DWB Digital is saying and what the boys are saying? Aggression. We played with 2 number 8s pretty much in Mason Mount and Bruno, and that didn't work. According to my opinion, I said my piece that left Casemiro exposed in the back and Luke Shaw as well, which they found exploited that space because all of a sudden we had that donut hole in the middle, the McFred hole. What's your opinion? Do you agree with firstly what the boys are saying and what DW is saying? The second to the ball, we were second to everything, aerial battles. There was no physical battles. They were not up for it pretty much. They were like a little bit scared and timid. Might have been the jitters playing at home ground first game and getting the 3 points. You're on mute. Damn. Again.
One more again.
That's a second Snickers deduction. Red card.
You were wasting away.
So I mean, I agree with some parts. So on the aggression bit, I think here's the thing: there was something psychologically going on with Ten Hag, with what Ten Hag wanted the team to sort of figure out a solution, because we spent pretty much, I mean, it was clear that the first 25 minutes or so, like Casemiro could not connect with Mason Mount, no Bruno, neither could Martinez. And our passes, we just couldn't find a way to connect the ball to the forwards. But I think it's even a little bit beyond that. It's also the fact that our forwards as well, they didn't do enough to be able to help affect the game in a way that allows our eights to be able to be effective. So the thing about it is Rashford as a center forward is not it's not going to work against low block teams. So when you have a team like Wolves that were very good at a counter press and recovery, and that's the part that I agree with the most, is that you could land a plane in the middle of the field because there was no red shirt in between Casemiro and Mason Mount or Casemiro and Bruno. And in that distance itself, if we find a way to be able to, first of all, I think some of the problems could have been easily be solved by Mason Mount or Bruno Fernandes dropping deep. And that's nothing new for Bruno Fernandes. He's done that when Eriksen got injured. You know, we've seen that a lot in last season. And so if they could have a little bit of an interchanging role, because I know Ten Hag wants them on those half spaces to be able to receive the ball between the lines, but at the same time, you need to be able to help to create more passing lanes. You need to be able to not let whatever his name is, I'm blanking out on the name, Cunha,
Matthias Cunha, yeah.
Matthias Cunha to be able to just, look like Pirlo. And also the other thing that there was a lack of rotation and movement from just the front line, because at the end of the day, it seems like Ten Hag is trying to settle with this rest formation of 3-1-6. But at the same time, it was just too stagnant. And we just didn't, when the plan is not working, the team needs to be able to figure out that, we can still keep the same principles of play, but adjust a few things to be able to make that system work. And Ten Hag was purposely being stubborn to kind of like let the team try and figure out a way to find a solution, even though that didn't happen in the first half. And, our goal came in later on in the second half.
How much do you think the new manager bounce impacted us? Because when you listen to the interviews afterwards, you heard, I think it was possibly Dallo. Someone was being interviewed anyway afterwards, and they were basically saying that, or it might have been Onana actually. He was saying that when they've been trying to prep for the game, they'd had to kind of look at what Wolves had done in pre-season, and what Bournemouth had done last year because of obviously the changes, and they didn't even know what to expect. It's a bit of a poor excuse, but I almost think that that's part of the reason where they were kind of like, right, okay, what's going to happen? Are they going to run behind? Are they going to go for the middle? How are they going to attack us? Are they going to hold back? Are they going on the counter? And in the second half, had they had the chance to see those 45 minutes, Ten Hag say, right, okay, you keep doing this. Now this is going to work better, because we did see a big change in the second half. Whether that was the change of Sancho and Pellistri coming on, who let's be honest, changed the game, were fantastic. And Ericsson, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
But the complete, I thought Sancho running made the difference up front as well.
Yeah, Sancho is your boy, and I agree. Sancho made a difference. According to my opinion, that was the game changer, the second half substitution. But also, DW, I agree what you're saying. Like, I remember Saka was a beast in the back. He made a difference. He was good enough, according to my opinion. But all right, so can we just round this up, though? Because I don't want to dwell too much. We played the game already.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, all I keep saying is, like, okay, it was a little bit rusty, a little bit nerves. First game. Yeah. Just remember what we did against the opening regarding Brighton. We lost 4-1. And I think that kind of stuck with the players. Like 3 points, that's what matters, right? The form will come eventually, right? We will play good football, but one thing that we saw, according to my opinion, that you cannot play like I think we underestimated Wolves to think we're going to have domination of the ball. So we played two attacking number 8s in Bruno and Mason Mount. Yeah. So that kind of left the donut hole in the back, leaving Casemiro exposed. Even like, Martinez, he took a yellow card. Shaw took for the team as well, a yellow card. So that's where Ten Hag said, no more. And the second half, according to my opinion, made the game. But
I think that Martinez yellow card helped Ten Hag, because at the end of the day, Martinez was having a terrible game. He was out of position. He was looking slow, lethargic. He was missing tackles. He was, I mean, the whole team were poor for whatever reason in the first half. A couple of moments where things worked all right, but generally, when you look at some of the stars you would expect to normally stand up and be the difference, they weren't. And let's before we move on, I know you want to move on. Onana, apart from the very last minute, with the obvious penalty, I thought, he made some great saves. Everyone's saying he's going to come out and make all the difference of playing up the upfield, and actually his difference in the game was making saves, and that's made everyone just kind of go, oh, he can save a goal as well.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, and that's what. That made me. I was made up with that.
Okay, Jarvis, we're gonna round this up, but you gotta agree with me that I love what you said. Loved, hate, but never ignored. We noticed this. Media could not shut up about Onana in the face of a penalty and criticizing Mason Mount, but they kept silent on Liverpool players. They kept silent on everyone. But they love to give stick to Manchester United players. What do you have to say about that one? Do you reckon it was a stone cold penalty, or do you reckon the refs got it right?
Well, if you want me to be 100% objective,
yes, please.
I can agree that if the referee had given a penalty, there was nothing more to say, because basically Onana just rammed into two Wolves players, and he was nowhere near the ball. So okay, we were lucky, but it's our time to be lucky.
They were lucky too,
because we have had so many penalties going against us, especially last season. Obvious fouls that we didn't get penalties on. So it evens out over time. So I don't see any problem with it. It's just the way of the game. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's but the next time it will be against us. For sure.
Okay. Before we continue to the next topic, I can just say that you're a goalkeeper. Are you supposed, like a bird, you're flying all of a sudden? You're flying, yeah? You're flying. That's your objective. And all of a sudden you're flying to the target to catch that fish in the water. Should you just clip the wings at the final second? What should you do? You're a goalkeeper, right? Right? There's a...
Yeah,
the
but
problem was he took his eye.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Phil.
Sorry, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was trying to say I have seen a lot of goalkeepers, and I remember, some of you are not old enough, but I remember in the 80s we had one German goalkeeper who had Harald Schumacher. He had one ugly tackle on a French player in the 82 World Cup. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and search it up, because that's when you see a goalkeeper coming out mid-air and just smashing into the players. So goalkeepers have a lot of responsibility when it comes to timing these type of tackles, or what do you call it, clearances, and it can get ugly also, because when you have 150 pounds coming flying right into you, it can be ugly.
What should they do? Just abort? Yeah. I mean, if you speak about the 80s, so people used to have brawls. They used to punch each other, get a yellow card, have a cup of tea and a beer afterwards, and all hunky-dory, right? That was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my only issue with Onana is, I say my only issue, when you look back, there's two things. If you try to defend it, you could say that Dawson got a flick on his header first, which slightly changed the trajectory of the ball where Onana was going. And the only other thing was that as Onana was diving for the ball, he's looking at the ball, and then at the last second, he looks to see where the players are. So at that point, he loses the flight of the ball. And I think that's where he makes his mistake. He just takes his eye off the ball, and like anybody tackling, when you watch a VAR replay or a free kick replay, whatever it is, they always comment on the fact that the player was watching the ball all the time and they didn't mean to elbow them or whatever. So moving on.
Okay, move on. Let's close that. We play the game, we analyze the game, but the most important thing, gentlemen, and the VAR room, actually, how do we beat the Spurs now? How do we beat the Spurs? Now, this is the most interesting part that I want to know, guys, what you have to say. Barring that what we saw was not good enough on Monday. We moved on. We got 3 points. Now we're going to the Spurs Stadium in London without Harry Kane, with a new manager. How do we beat the Spurs? And who's the danger man to watch out for, guys?
Madison.
Yeah, I can go first if you like. They have a new manager. His name is Ange Postecoglou. He's Australian, and he plays a formation very, very. He goes forward with all his players. It's a 4-3-3 formation or a 4-2-3-1, whatever, it depends. But he likes to attack the channels, the inner channels between the center back and the fullback, and he has a lot of runners in this team. He has Son and Madison, Kulusevski, Skip Bissouma. Everybody's going forward. So I think we will see a lot of goals from Spurs this season, and maybe Richarlison will maybe score 20 goals and can replace Kane in a way in this formation. But the other thing is they do as United do. They have no people in defense. So that will be a challenge for us, and we can also hurt them on the counter with the players with pace like Rashford. That I think we can do.
Phil?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think James Maddison, I mean, we saw him in the first week. We've seen him playing for Leicester for a while, for many years, and he's always been a great player. He's been linked with Arsenal, he's been linked with United, and, Spurs have snapped him up at the right time. He's shown that he's nowhere near past it whatsoever. His movement and his through balls last week for creating 2 assists and was unlucky not to score as well himself. I think he is most definitely the danger man that we need to watch. I can't see Casemiro getting out of the game without a yellow card. I think Maddison's got me a bit too quick for him, and I think that we're going to have to change the tactics definitely this time. And if we're playing on the counter, believe in ourselves, because we seem to lack belief. So I think, I'm sure Ten Hag, I mean, I know that there was the behind closed doors game the next day against Everton. Whether that was pre-planned or not, I don't know. I know we did that last year as well. So I'm just kind of wondering if that was kind of a bit of a punishment or it's pre-arranged. You have to assume it's pre-arranged, the fact that it happened the very next day. But still, we heard that McTominay played well and stuff. And you just think these players are still at the club, but, who's going to give our best strength for the starting 11? And there might be 1 or 2 surprises in there just to shore it up a little bit and make it a bit firmer.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Pappi, who do you think is the surprise man at Spurs now that Kane is not there? Are you agreeing with the gentleman is saying?
The first question before surprise man make you ask who's the danger man. And I think the danger man is this guy. Oh, nah, he gives a hug. Oh, nah, he gives a hug. What a hug. What a hug. So Kulusevski, if Kulusevski wants a hug, he can come get a hug from Onana. I honestly feel like on a serious note, if we set up the same way that we set up, we are in danger of it's been a while since Son has produced one of those solo run goals where he's skipping over players. If we give him a field to run in through, like the same way we let Cunha run, Son is the danger man. He's looking to prove himself to get back into form. He's had a manager who played fossil football, so he just could never get to his best form. And now with Postecoglou and how Maddison is also like another threat, and also what's his name? We mentioned Kulusevski as well, so I feel like that Spurs team is going to be a different kind of Spurs team that we've faced. The fact that they like to play high gives me a little bit of hope, because Marcus Rashford is looking to run in behind. So please, let's go.
I like that analysis, Pappi. Big up, big up. For me, I want to mention who's the danger man in this matches. It's none from Spurs. It's not from Manchester United.
It's Michael Oliver! No!
When I saw Michael Oliver, I was got, oh no.
Phil, you are right. Casemiro is definitely getting a card.
You're gonna get it. Oh shit! And don't tell me that Mariner will be in the VR room. We have a rerun of that. Oh, what a bomba! Michael Oliver is actually refereeing, guys, and he's the danger man according to my opinion. But hopefully, Howard Webb had a discussion with him, because that was a clown show. He was the one that gave Casemiro the red card for the strangulation, but it wasn't a strangulation. He was just grabbing the collar, man. Come on. I bet you Casemiro's wife already sent roses to Michael Oliver with a note, please. So, guys, do you reckon that's the way we will rumble? Like, this is the way we will crumble. Attack, attack, attack. Do you think it will be a free-flowing game, since the defense are kind of wide open for their area as well, and we're looking to exploit them on the counter? Or do you reckon we're still going to have possession-based football?
I think we've got to hold possession better, because the amount of giveaways that we had last week, and I know we're not going on about last week, but in terms of comparison of how we're going to go forward, possession is vitally important. I think when we see how we played against Spurs last season, we absolutely dominated them, absolutely battered them, and we were fantastic. We deserved to win that game comfortably. And, you know, with the sort of tactics, we've obviously got a different manager this year, as Jarvis has alluded to already. I just think that I think it's going to be a closer game than it's not going to be. I can't see it being like a 3-0 to anybody or anything like that. I know it's Spurs away, and they've got a bit of a new belief about them, and they've hit the ground running much more than we have. But I think sometimes the fact that we scraped through with those 3 points is the kick that we possibly needed quite quickly on. Tenhag, basically, you can imagine him saying, like, we're not going to have this again after last time. No, this is not happening. Dust yourself off and get going because we've got the season started now.
Yeah, no. This is the moment of crunch, right? This is kind of the honeymoon period. You know, coming back from preseason. What a preseason! Some injuries, of course, but it's time. What Engelbert is saying here, like, you know, Rashford, according to my opinion, is like a slow starter, right? Rashford will come good. Like, he's just like fine horses always comes last. You know, they come last. You know what I mean? So he's just working up a sweat. But Engelbert saying here, like, it's time for Rashford to receive true competition from an excellent left winger. I assume that you're talking about Garnacho. He's too consistently inconsistent. Well, guys, do you reckon did that work? Like, you know, with Rashford playing as a number 9 while we're waiting for Rasmus Højlund, or do you reckon that your boy Phil Sancho is better off to play as false number 9?
I was disappointed when I saw Rashford starting almost like a default. It's his right to start there, sort of thing. When I saw the movement and that Sancho's had in pre-season, the only reason I can see perhaps, and it's very weak, that why he didn't start was the fact that we broke through it in the first 3 minutes and he missed, I won't say a sitter, but an easier opportunity, and he didn't know which way to go and he just basically rolled it towards the keeper. But likewise, Rashford had missed 2 what you would normally call sitters by Rashford standard at the back post in 2 games in pre-season, and Sancho looked much sharper. Now, obviously, we don't see what goes on in training, but to me, Sancho should have started that game with either nobody wanting to get Garnacho in, and it's a nice problem to have. You know, at the moment, we're last season it was obvious who the 11 were going to be because we had no players for various positions, but now we've got almost everyone fit apart from Højlund. It's a good problem to have. We've got this bit of. Some people are saying they still want another centre forward and stuff like that. That's because centre forward is such a natural position that we just don't have that. Rashford is used to cutting in on the left, using his pace, seeing Shaw do the overlap, that sort of thing. Sometimes appearing on the right wing and moving themselves about a little bit. But when he's centre, I think he's wasted. He's not got that break of pace that can get behind the defence. So I think we see the same from Garnacho. But obviously last week it was a poor performance, but it was his worst since the whole preseason started. So it's a bit of a tough one.
I would say from the first game we played, Garnacho wasn't to blame. He didn't get service, right? Because what I spotted that people were not used to Onana ball, right? So still, Luke Shaw was sheltering Onana. They were playing very much pin back deep. Same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right? So instead of providing that service to Garnacho or to the right wing and left wing, we never got that going, right? So it was a little bit slow from the back in the build-up play. But, I come back to Jarvis with Stephanie Griffith, one of our moderators. Big up, Stephanie. How are you doing, Stephanie?
Evening, Stephanie.
Is part of the tactics is that United to score first to get things going. According to your opinion, do you agree what Stephanie's saying?
Yeah, it's always a good thing scoring first. So yeah, I agree with you, Stephanie. But I have a point here from Roshmano where he says, he said Sancho changed the game for me.
Yeah, he did.
He did really well when he came on, and with that comment, I really agree with Roshmano because we had suddenly a player that could hold the ball up so we could move more players in attack. Because when people think we are creating overloads, it's not about pushing 6 people in attack. It's about being more people around the area where the ball is. That's when you create overloads, So
and underloads as well.
Yeah, but we didn't have the right movement. Everybody was tripping on the line and wanted to go straight forward. But, a good run can also be sideways or backwards. So people need to understand how to play together. So when Sancho came on, he was holding the ball. You could see him and Eriksen doing 1-2s and playing with the ball together, and that's important for us if we want to move people up and around the ball. We gotta need them time, because it's about the tempo and timing of the attack. It's not always rushing, and that was the problem with Mount and Bruno. They were always rushing. They were always hitting on Rashford when he was running full pace, trying to get in behind. So yeah.
Yeah, no. It's I really value you guys' opinion, and but I'm reading the VAR room. What you guys are saying. Some people are saying like Ten Hag will be gone by Christmas. Stop playing the favorites. I don't agree what you're saying there, because you got to think about he's protecting his. I think he's a little bit scarred from the Premier his first game in charge against Brighton. I think he just wanted to get that over the line and get the 3 points and move on to the next. And I believe that, knowing Ten Hag that we know, as we know him, he probably had a very good dig at his players after the game. You could hear it in the post-match interview. He was not happy. He was demanding more signings. Do you agree with that, Pappi? Like, what Milos Mitici says is 4-3-3 the perfect combination or formation to challenge Spurs at Spurs Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's partially why Ten Hag brought Mason Mount to be able to implement that kind of system. So this time it's about familiarity. It's about getting a couple of lessons and correcting mistakes that were made in the previous game. I don't think Ten Hag is gonna throw it out the ball just like that, because there's a reason why he went with this formation, and it's a long-term formation for him, and of course, Spurs are a little bit of a dangerous side to try, but I think it's starting with the likes of Spurs that, and going down, it's like you don't compromise for that and change immediately to 4-2-3-1, for example. So I have a lot of faith that, I saw somebody said Sancho should start. Sancho should start. I agree, but I think Ten Hag might do a meritocracy system where it's like, well, we started and we won, and he might just try and give the lads a second chance. So
absolutely smashing, and that leads us to the next point, gentlemen. Now we spoke about the first game we played, what went wrong. We spoke about, in summary, like how do we beat the Spurs, and naturally comes down to like who will start, like who do you think will start? Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the third part of our show, and I sound very serious. We have Stephen Wells just gifted 5 memberships. Guys, big up. Pappi, press the horn. Mr. Welsh, you're a legend. You're a legend. You just gifted 5 memberships. Big up. This community is getting better and better and better and stronger. Listen, guys, you know what to do when somebody gifting you memberships. You can see it on the top corner of the chat. I don't know if it's automatically distributed, but you have to click on it to accept it. And you have to have your settings available that you can receive gifts. So, who became a member? Can you see that, Jarvis?
Yeah, I can see it. We have Ramo as a new member. We have Sergeant McEney, Mersh, and Peter Jeric.
Jeric became a member.
Roland Nobin. So we have 5 members, and don't forget to thank Stephen Welsh.
Thank you, Stephen Welsh. Big up, you're a legend, Stephen Welsh. Guys, listen up. Listen to me carefully. I will only say this once. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Right? Don't be complacent. Smash that like button. Let us get up to 100 likes on this video, please. Big up to all of you. Guys, this is the most interesting part, what I want to get into, right? So basically, this is how we lined up last time, right? Can you everyone see this, right? This was the starting 11, right? So And here is where I'm pausing, guys. This might cause a little bit controversial, right? So our starting 11 was like this, exactly. Like we had a Martinez, Onana, Varane, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka is missing in this picture, right? We started out with Shaw, Casemiro. Wan-Bissaka is up there, yeah? Mount, Fernandes, Garnacho, Rashford, and Anthony, right? We've spoken about this. Do you guys reckon he will start with the same formation, same team, or do you see Garnacho make way for a Rashford going out to the left and Sancho playing as a false number 9? Do you see that we might ping in a Scott McTominay for more of energy in the midfield? Or what's your thoughts and feelings? Like, because here clearly to the right, you can see how we actually lined up, right? We got the 3 points, but it didn't work out, right? And here's a possible solutions. Talk to me, people. Talk to me in the VA room. I want to hear from you guys and the panelists and pundits. What do you reckon? I go with Phil first.
Yeah, I think we've seen what Ten Hag, at the end of the day, half the population say he's going to have to make changes because it was terrible. And then he surprises everyone by leaving the team the same, and he's worked with them throughout the week and made changes to what he wants to see. Now, one thing we did see last season a lot of is he was still undecided who his best player is on the left, and I think he still is. We saw Garnacho start one game and Sancho come off the bench and be the impact player. And then the opposite, you'd see the same the week after. You'd see Sancho starting, doing nothing, coming off, and Garnacho coming on and making the difference. And you just wonder, is he going to start Sancho on the left? I think he's going to stick with Rashford up front and just see if there's a difference. I'd love to see. We want to see Rashford back on the left because that's his strongest position. But unfortunately, it's also Garnacho's strongest position and Sancho's strongest position. Well, Sancho's on the left or the right or through the middle. But I think we need to start Sancho up front. I'd love to see that little bit of movement. But Rashford's got the sharper finish when he's on form.
Okay, hold my beer there. So I will go to Pappi here. Pappi, there's people in the comments saying, put Maguire as center forward. What do you think?
I shouldn't have pressed that button. I shouldn't boo to that thought, not boo to Maguire, because I don't really like the idea of booing him. But here's the thing. I feel like the way we started, lots of ways to improve that, and Ten Hag has been working on that. I kind of agree with Phil. It's one of those things where I like to have the ability to ask Garnacho to come in and affect the game from the bench because of his liveliness and dynamism that he brings when he's when he's coming in as an impact sub. But we have Anthony Martial, who's played versus Everton behind closed doors. He should be coming in as the second half substitution. So start the same way is probably what Ten Hag is going to do, and then bring Martial in and Sancho.
Whoa, can we have applause for Pappi there? Not the boo. Come on. Smash a like. I like your analysis, Pappi. Now it is saving the best for last. Jarvis Cocker, my brother from another mother from Norway. Talk to us, Jarvis. Give us some sense and reasoning. What's your thought process?
Yeah, we have several options. I think the defense will be the same. I think the midfield also will be the same. The only option we have is Eriksen or McTominay, but none of them are starters, in my opinion. We lack midfielders. I wish we had Amrabat at the moment, but that it is what it is. Up front, Ten Hag could find several solutions. We have Martial back, so Martial could start in the 9 and Rashford on the left. We have also Sancho as a good opportunity. We have Anthony Dos Santos, who can play on the right because he's good defensively. But we can also start with Bruno on the right and Eriksen in the 10. So there's several options. I'm just lining up the options. But what I would like to do, I will probably start Sancho and Rashford on the left and Anthony on the right. That's the most sensible thing to do. And you don't want to mix it up too much. It's good to try and fail in the first game, but you don't wreck it all and start all over again. You will try to get it to work. And Ten Hag is a coach. He can coach these guys, because for me it's about filling the gap and getting discipline into the boys. You know, we got to get discipline into Mason Mount. We got to get discipline into Casemiro, and of course discipline into Bruno. They have to learn to keep their positions, you know, and look around. Where is the other guys? You know, you have to play. If he runs, okay, I have to hold. That's the way they have to learn to think, because it's not that difficult actually when you think of it. But you know, it's early days, so they will get it after a couple of games.
No, fair enough. You know, you're not gonna be like Miley Cyrus, like, you know, I came here like a wrecking ball. No, I don't think to be honest, like, I'm gonna have my say here as well, like, you know, the way I see it, and that's the reason why I put this in, right? I don't see much changes knowing Ten Hag that I know. The back four will stay the same, the midfield will stay the same. I don't think Scott McTominay is going to come close to this team, right? Maybe as a substitution, but the only difference that I would see in this instance, if you put Rashford to the left, Martial then, if he's fit, as a center forward, and Anthony as a right winger, that's the thing. Or if you swap positions, I mean, yeah, I would love to see a Sancho coming in, to be honest, right? Because judging from the second half, Sancho changed the game. So maybe we will put a Sancho as a, you know, in Garnacho's position, keep Rashford in the middle, because we need, you know, pace. We need counter-attacking football as well, because they're going to be open in the back. So on the transition, we're going to be very fast. Now, the front line can be interchangeable, like, you know, Rashford and Sancho can change. You know what I mean? So I see that as a possible tactics, to be honest. Like, you know, so that Rashford and kind of Sancho kind of interchange, you know, left wing, false number 9, false number 9. But the most important thing is to hit them on the break, because they will be caught napping. According to my opinion, the defense is not very strong, guys. Let us take it to the VAR room, guys. What is the VAR room saying? Stephanie Griffith saying 47 likes. Please, we are aiming for 100 likes on this video, guys. What is people saying? Are you having any? I mean, come on, Mariners in the VAR room. We're having Oliver. Come on, guys. What's going on there?
I mean, I don't think that Martial's going to start based on the fact that he's been so injured for so long. It's just too big of a risk to start him. It's the sort of thing where we'll integrate him back into the team and see how he goes with 20 minutes or something like that, depending on whether we're chasing a goal or we've got a good lead. Either way, whatever way, I think if he needs him and he feels he's ready, he'll bring him on. But I can't see him starting. I'd like to see Rashford start on the left and Sancho in the middle, and then Garnacho can come on towards the end and Rashford back through the middle. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think Sancho, I think the problem you've got at the moment is Sancho is making the best runs and the best movement. But when he goes to take that shot, if it was Rashford taking the shot, then that's what you see. You want to see the movements of Sancho and the finish of Rashford at the moment, which is potentially Højlund.
No. I want to address the VAR as well, because I've been seeing Mateus being quite negative in the PTSD syndrome. I understand you, mate. You know, but who would you like to play? We that's what we got, mate. You know, you're saying Rashford, Bruno, Sancho, Anthony don't create enough and not top players. You know, and I can see your comments, mate. But what should we play with, according to your opinion? Like, you know, I'm just asking you. Like, you know, please put your suggestion in instead of being salty, mate. I don't know.
Can I just comment on that? Sorry, mate. Because Bruno, when you look at the stats for last season, created the most chances of anybody in the Premier League.
Yeah, true. I mean, is it the eye test? It's not suiting you, or is it? I don't know, man. I don't know, because at the end of the day, mate, like, what we're trying to do is provide a voice of reasoning, and you're saying your eyes don't lie. So maybe Matthias, you see the game from a different perspective. This is your opinion. We respect that, right? But we're trying to be positive. We're trying to play a game of football. And if you're saying that these players are not good enough, then who should we start? You know, should we just line up with wheelchairs? Honest to God, mate. So, you know, I don't get it. But, you know, we have to blow the horn, Pappi, because somebody just gifted 10 membership. I just see it now. Angie, you're legend. Oof. Mind-blowing, guys. Angie just gifted 10 membership, and you know what to do, guys. Angie, you're a sweetheart. You're our legendary Angie, one of our moderators. Guys, please, you know, thank you, Angie, so much. We cannot thank you more than enough. Basically, everything that you are donating, we are growing to be one hell of a squad depth in our community. Now we have like four or five squads to put out there. Like we have rotational, we have depth, we have strength, and we have people that don't believe in Erik ten Hag's philosophy. And
we have Mick. We have 10 new members. I can read them out. We have ML as a new member. Welcome on board. Dwayne Blackwood is a new member. Al Mack. We have Frank.
Yes.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Frank.
And we have Ashid Mia. We have Stuart Wally. That sounds familiar. Stu Wally is a new member. Welcome on board, buddy. And we have Danian Sultani, Alistair Dirks, Karim Quadri, and Paste 1E.
Yeah, big up. Can we have an applause, Pappi, please, from the soundboard?
Let's go.
In the chat.
Legends. We have so many people in the chat room. And again, you, Maddie, what has Bruno and Rashford done in the big games? Can we just debunk this, Mateus? Like, you tell us what they've done. I can talk to any of these with has footballing knowledge. Let's start with you, Mr. Norway. What has Bruno and Rashford done in big games?
Well, I can see Mateus' point in a way, because now it's everything looks difficult. We had a really bad first game, but Bruno, he was the player with most output going forward, most passes, creating goal scoring opportunities last season. So he creates a lot. He's the attacking midfielder who creates most of all the midfielders in the Premier League. And same with Rashford, he scored 30 goals last season. So saying they are not good enough is probably a little bit too harsh. But, they're not Ballon d'Or yet. But, we can't have 11 Ballon d'Or players. But I think they're good enough for our team. But Ten Hag needs time to tweak it to be perfect.
Yeah, no, big up. Look, everyone is entitled to opinions, but I just want to have to understand your thought process, Mateus. And exactly, I agree with what Jarvis is saying. Like, basically, big games. Who produced in big games? It was Bruno. 100% was Bruno produced in big games. Rashford scored 30 games, and if I can remember which games he scored in, like Champions League, he scored as well. Like So that is a fallacy what you're saying, mate. Maybe you're not a Manchester United supporter. Maybe you're supporting another team. I don't know. But you're always welcome with your opinions. Phil, can you agree what Matthias is saying here, or should we just move on?
No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, what we're seeing is, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, and as Jarvis has just said as well, Bruno created the most chances in the Premier League last season. What we didn't have was someone to finish him off. And we're talking about saying that what's Rashford doing in the big games? He's being played mostly from the left wing. So who are you comparing in the Premier League to someone who plays on the left wing who has an output of 30 goals at the end of a season? And what Ten Hag's trying to build is a squad. And I've said this in previous podcasts. We lost Cavani, we lost Ronaldo. Martial was out for half the season. And these changes we weren't expecting. We were left with a bit of struggling up front. We didn't have a focal point centre forward, and off the back of that, we were like, so we've worked with what we had, and we still managed to get 30 goals out of our left winger, who sometimes played on the centre forward. So I just, with Martial injured and everything else, I think what we need is, once you see Højlund coming in, you'll start to see Bruno's figures going up, because he does create the chances. We saw Shaw whipping the ball in so many times last season. But nobody was there to tap it in. Rashford whips in a great ball, but he can't be there to tap in his own cross. So he's talking to two players who can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Like I'm starting to understand what you are saying, Mr. Mateus, and this is the old standards of being a Manchester United fan. Like we always were challenging for the titles, but bear in mind, we are being on the rebuild under Erik ten Hag. So have a little bit of patience, my friend, because you cannot compare to last season to this season. So we're just kicking off the ball and you're already slagging. This doesn't make sense to me, my friend. remember that we got in a Weghorst as a Zaloni. Now we have a Hoyland. So it's too early to say. Are we any closer to winning the league? According to my opinion, looking what the rivals are doing, yes, we are, right? What have they recruited? What is the injury status? We're talking about Arsenal. They got a terrible blow with the, Urine Timber out for this season. Gabriel Jesus out for 4 or 5 months. You look at the rivals and their squad and their debt is kind of, how do I say, getting smaller and smaller because of injuries. So yeah, it's too early. So Matt, like all I can say is what Ten Hag says. We take it game by game, and the way Ten Hag is setting up, he's definitely setting up his players according to the occasion of the opponent, how he sets up the game. So has he got it 100% right? No, he hasn't. We've seen it. But should we already get our knives out and stress about it? I don't think so. And yeah, I picked up you go to Old Trafford, and that is the standards. And that's why I kind of debunked to understand. So big up to you for having strong opinions. But where do you reckon we should finish in the season, according to your opinion? I want to know your thoughts and feelings as a match-going fan as well. Where do you reckon we will finish with the current squad? We're not even finished in the recruitment department as of yet. So let us know in the comments below. Big up to you, mate. Big up. Big applause for Matthias. Can we have a big applause as well? Get in there. Jarvis, you wanted to say something?
Well, I just saw that George Best had a good comment and said every time Rashford and Martial plays together, we usually play good. Yep. And they have good statistics together. So that's a good point for playing Martial tomorrow. The thing is, Martial is injured. Yes, I know. And he's injury prone. He will probably get injured again if he plays more than 5 minutes tomorrow. But as long as he's on the bench, he should be one of the potential starters. That's and I get George Best's point.
Yeah, and Matthias has said, yes, the standards have fallen. But the standards has fallen a long time ago, my friend. Ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, it's been a shambles. We all seen it. It's been a mix of everything. So what Ten Hag is doing right now, people, is trying to get rid of the dead woods that's been accumulated by different managers. Like we're going all the way back from Van Gaal. Then we're going all the way back trying to get rid of the deadwoods of Mourinho, what he calls, and then all his recruitments and all that. And all of a sudden you have a manager that came in and say, well, this is not my place. I don't want him. So big up to Ten Hag that's trying to get rid of these dead woods, because when was the last time you see the outs, the efforts to get the deadwood out, to clear out that, deadwood, to actually get some fresh blood in that Ten Hag really wants. So I'm going to just say be patient and we will see, right? People. Pappi, what's your thoughts and feelings? You look tired.
No. We should be patient. I mean, patience is key. I was just still sort of simmering a little bit on Matt's point about what has Rashford done, and I think in 2017 was the second last time we opened up our trophy cabinet. So when we opened it last year, it was a Casemiro goal and Rashford goal in an important final versus Newcastle. So that's just like a quick little fine. You can say it's a Carabao Cup, but still it was a big game and he showed up. So I'm more like, let's keep the energy positive. Let's keep moving and supporting, backing our team, and knowing that it can be a slow start to the season, and we will really get firing.
Big up. Big up. So listen, on this channel, everyone is welcome with opinions. Is it positive, negative? We all have to sort of vent it out. If you disagree, agree. That's what's called football, people. That's why you come to Realist TV. But we have come to the end of the show. I want to do this snappy. And guess what it is, peeps? Guess what it is? Okay, we discussed the first game of the season. It wasn't the greatest performance. We discussed about how we beat the Spurs. We looked at the potential starting 11, and naturally comes to, what is your score prediction? I want to hear from you in the VAR room. Let us know what your score prediction is. But we will start with the panel here, the pundits here. Guys, what do you think? We are coming to Ange Postecoglou's new team without Harry Kane. The danger man, what we discussed, is Michael Oliver, the referee. Guys, let us know what your score prediction is. Can I start with you, Pappi, first, please?
I'm going to go bold and say 3-1 United.
Get in there, son. 3-1 United, according to Pappi Culo. Love your energy, mate. Phil?
Yeah, I think what we saw last week, that, you know, obviously they came out the traps, they got the early goal, and then they went 2-1 behind, but they did bring it back to 2-2 in the end. I think it shows that they are still leaking goals, which is a good thing, because they're not just going to put a wall up. And I think sometimes we play better against the bigger team, so to speak, because they come and attack, and we've got a chance to go over, get behind them all the time, sort of thing. So I'm feeling more confident about this than I did about the Wolves game, to be honest. But so even though I said 3-0 for Wolves, I'm going to agree with Pappi and say 3-1. I think it's going to be a United win 3-1.
You remember that 3-1 is a Ruby Classic copywriting. Get rid of it. You can have it, but I share it with you. Okay. All right, guys. What is the VR room saying? You guys have control of the VR room, but I want to hear from Mr. Jarvis. She agrees, but I saved the best for last, as always, because the less positive in this panel, Mr. Conservative, Jarvis, talk to us with realism.
Yeah, okay. I will be positive. I think we will win the game. I think Spurs will try to press us. We will get counterattacks. Rashford will get fouled and get a penalty. Bruno will score 1-0. Spurs will equalize.
1-0.
But at the end of the game, we will have a corner kick, and Casemiro will revenge himself from the Wolves game and score on a header. So 2-1 Man United.
2-1 Man United. Clip this. You're still conservative when most people saying 3-1. You go 2-1. I would just play it safe. Yeah. Abram Glaze's ponytail say 2-0 Slabhead brace. Yeah, there you go. That's positivity for you. Yeah, if you're going to stay on the bench, come in, score 2 goals. Yeah, use your head. Now, I'm going with a comfortable, I'm going to play it safe. I go with Ruby Classic 3-1 Manchester United. But although I don't think they're going to score against Andre Onana, they're going to find it very difficult with Onana being a brick wall and playing high line. So, yeah, I don't think so. If
we have a new person in the VAR room, Jay Daly. Sorry, wrong. Just disappeared as I clicked the button. It's gone. It disappeared. There it is. There we go. So, interesting.
4-0 to Tottenham. Win. You must be a Spurs fan then. Unfortunately, mate, we're going to roast the Spurs. You know, you're going to find it very, very difficult. You're going to find what Onana ball is about. Eric, if the Eric Dyer plays, we will win. Simple as that.
Garnacho brace, Mason Mount is also scoring, and Son will score the one for Spurs. That's what my prediction is.
Yeah, okay. Well, just only one way to find out, peeps. We just have to wait till Saturday. This is the build-up. We just have to wait because Saturday is around the corner, and I'm getting giddy already. Like, you know, this is the big one. This is what I want. This is the test. The second game. Okay, we're playing a difficult team, but are they very difficult, right? That's the question. You know, new manager, Harry Kane left. No more Son Kane pairing, the radar pairing. You know, that's gone, right? That's gone. And yeah, do I see a clean sheet? Yeah, well, we have to bring the what do you call it? Omo washing detergent in that case, or you know what I mean? So for the clean sheets to wash it, to be honest. Yeah. So big up to all of you. Do a watch along. Yes, we will do a watch along. According to Pappi Power Hour. We'll do a watch along.
Yeah.
Jarvis,
we will be there.
Yeah, Mick, before we end this show, there's been a couple of rumors today. I don't know if you know anything, so I'm very excited to hear your opinion about it. Gravenberch from Bayern Munich. What's going on?
Oh, Nana, what's my name? Oh, Nana, what a save, what a save. There's some legs in it, 100%, but I think the competition is now, Jurgen Klopp is being desperate. Jurgen Klopp is going for everything that moves at the moment because he's been snubbed. I believe that Liverpool is in contact for him, but it's not the player that they want, that they really need, right? Because Gravenberch is a ball-carrying midfielder, like a typical, what Frankie de Jong was also very good at carrying the ball, like Matheus Nunes. And United need this kind of player as well. So there's 2 signings to look out for, and that's number 1, solid, is Amrabat, which is more of a Casemiro type of replacement, or Fred destroyed 3.0, right? What Fred was, you get in abundance 4 times more than with an Amrabat. But then Gravenberch, of course, with the links of Ten Hag. Gravenberch wants to play for Ten Hag, is what I heard. So it will be a very difficult, hard sell for Jurgen Klopp to sort of get a Gravenberch. If there's an interest for Manchester United to get a Gravenberch, that will come at the very end of the window. Same what the Fredo Pedula said, like all the fine horses arrive last. So this might be the surprise signing of the season that nobody's talking about, and that's actually getting a Gravenberch, 2 midfielders. Do I see us getting a centre back? No, not really. Do you? Because we do still have Lindelof that can play in the what do you call it? In the Varane's position as well. We do have a Shaw that can play in if Martin is injured, so we covered. Even if Maguire sells, which I believe Maguire will go at the end of the day. I think so. I don't believe in the media spin, because at the end of the day, it's just the agents doing what agents do, just making the money, and that's going to be exciting though. Do I see it happen from a automated perspective? I don't know. I give it the chance to the VR to give a vote. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I see Rashmano says Amrabat is prepared to wait for United, as Pedula said. And I'm 99% sure that we will get Amrabat. So the Amrabat planning, don't worry. But I think we should hurry it up, because the season has already started. We can't play 5 games before Amrabat comes in. We want him now, and we need him now, because we need more depth in our midfield and more balance in the midfield. Would I take Gravenberch on a 1-season loan from Bayern Munich? Yeah, without a doubt, because I think we need a ball-playing, deep-lying playmaker who can control the game and the tempo of the game, because we lack we saw that last game. So of course I would take both of them in a heartbeat, no problem.
Yeah, but if Gravenberch is 1 seasonal loan with an option to buy, would you consider that, peeps? Like, in the VR room, I think that would be a great thing. Like, you get a Onana, not Onana, Amrabat, which I covered this afternoon's podcast. I did a special, so basically where I explain where everything's gone wrong, because intermediates. Jurgen Klopp has contacted, like, let's inquire again regarding Onana, Amrabat. He gave the same answer. I'm only interested in Ten Hag. I'm waiting for Ten Hag. That's it. And then you saw, like, Jurgen Klopp went in and signed this Japanese central defender midfielder, which was named, what was his name? What was his name?
Endo,
yeah.
Nintendo.
And end of the game. Endo.
No, it's a mix between Caicedo and Enzo. They couldn't get any of those, so they went and got Endo.
Endo, not Hendo. So Endo is a replacement for Hendo.
Yeah.
Henderson. Yeah, Hendo. Yeah, I see.
30 years old as well, in here, Summit.
Yeah. So I find it very weird what Liverpool is doing. Like, they were ready to splash the cash, 100 million, like, for a Caicedo. Was it a PR stunt? Was it to sort of calm down the already hostile, like, Liverpool Scouser fans, to say to stop shouting FFG out? Was there more of a PR stunt? Because for me, it reeked a little bit, because you have to talk to the agent and the player to before you actually put a bid, right? Otherwise, you're just going to be in the mud. So I think they just went straight to put a bid without even validating with the player. And the player said, no, I don't want to play for you. I want to play for, like, Poch. He gives better hugs than you, Jurgen. Yeah. So a Gravenberch. Let me see what people are saying here. End of. Yes, people saying end of. Let them have end of, right? Because I certainly believe that Liverpool will be end of this season. What I always said, guys. Gravenberch on a seasonal loan. Yes, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
What's the VR room saying before we close the shop?
Karen Reed, let's pray for Amrabat. Let's
pray for Karen.
Amrabat. Yes, we need Amrabat.
We do, definitely.
Amrabat all the way.
It's funny that
Amrabat. He needs to come home.
Yeah, guys. Big up to all of you for tuning in and interacting with us. You guys been amazing today. All the membership gifting from Angie. Who else did gift a membership today? If I can remember.
Stephen Welsh.
Stephen Welsh did as well, yeah, 100%. Stephen Welsh did. And for all the interaction. I mean, we had Ayush in the house as well, which I forgot. One of our loyals from the very first beginning. Remember, Ayush? How can we forget you? Me and Phil was doing like
6-0,
we had like,
6-0. That's the result, isn't it?
Mr. 6-0. Listen, Lisa Jensen. Also, we forgot to mention you as well. Good evening, Lisa. How are you doing? Sorry, it's been a mad day. I see the chat is going like. Maybe we should slow down the chat because there's been so many of you.
Before you go, Angie has a question. You just want to ask. I'm not sure of this, the answer of this question, because he says, "Is it true that Højlund is coming back sooner than expected?" Because I heard those rumors today.
Yes.
Did any of you guys hear anything about it?
Yes. Can I briefly explain myself? Can I have the microphone? Or yeah,
you have it already.
I give it back to you. Okay. So the rumors of him being injured is absolutely BS, right? I go by Ten Hag's interview. The only reason why he's not playing, and this is my takeaway, is he doesn't want to throw him in the lion's den straight away, in the pit straight away. He said, quote, he will play when he's ready, when he gets up his match fitness and up to my rules and principles and standards. The same thing he did with, just remember, Casemiro.
Yeah,
he didn't play for 4 games because he was not ready to his standards. So what he's doing right now is training with the team. He's playing on grass. It's not an injury. He's basically like, adapting to the new teammates, to Ten Hag's way of playing. And that's all it is. So if he's coming back earlier, that means that his clever cookie kind of understood, embraces what the rules and principles are, and off we go. Maybe, if I'm getting giddy, will he play against Spurs? Will it be a surprise? I don't know. But you tell me, guys, what do you reckon? Will he play against the Spurs? Will he sit on the bench?
I think we have more chance of seeing Martial first before Højlund, unfortunately. That's just my inclination. Could be wrong. But go ahead, Phil. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, I think we could see Højlund. Maybe I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be too soon this week. The first pictures will come out of him in training this week, which is suggesting that he's on the way, so to speak. Whether that is because he has been carrying a slight injury or he's not up to speed or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, it's the way that the Man United press work. They start to introduce somebody slowly. We've seen pictures of Martial today and stuff like that, smiling with the ball at his feet. So something that's definitely brewing. I think I might be right in saying that Martial was actually on the bench for us in the first game. But I think at the end of the day, it's a you've got to put someone on your bench, and if he's on there, there's got to be there for a reason. Something I always think of very quickly. Do you remember Louis Saha? He was a fantastic player, but his mental game got destroyed, and he didn't believe that he was ever going to be fit again. And I wonder if Martial's affected by that. So putting him on the bench is a bit of a boost for him, sort of thing.
Okay. No, fair enough. Martial, if Martial comes good, I'm happy. If he can stay fit, I'm happy as a bench player. I don't know, guys. But listen, time has run up. I'm so sorry. We can continue as much as we want when we talk football and Manchester United. But unfortunately, I have to break the stream because I have a recording to do as well with no other than the Swedish Rumble exclusive. So we're going to do a recording. We're going to post it in the lunchtime. We're going to talk about the Glazers takeover, the budgets and all that. So just doing a little bit of commercial. It's not going to be live. So I'm going to do a recording. And if you haven't seen Swedish Rumble, you guys know who Swedish Rumble is, right? On Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be fantastic. Give some great comments on X, as it's now called.
So we're going to talk about legality issues regarding the budgets. We're going to talk about the takeover. And so he's probably waiting for me in the green room here. So I'm going to do another recording and post it as a session for tomorrow. So when is a good time for watch such a thing, guys? When do you usually like to watch it? In the morning or in the afternoon? Or what is a good time, to post?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we put it on nice and early. It gives people a chance to catch it in the lunchtime and stuff like that. Or some people can maybe catch it on the morning break or whatever. And around the world, it might be bedtime. So who knows?
Yeah, I usually post my morning videos 9:30 in the morning. So yeah. UK time though. Okay, I stick with the same format. Guys, you've been amazing.
Sorry to interrupt you. I will just end with one quick question, quick fire round to all three of you. Dwight York thinks that United should re-sign Romelu Lukaku on a loan this season?
Hell no.
Okay, hell no from Mick. Phil?
I'm waiting for the boo from Pappi.
Where's the boo?
I think we've played this game before where we bring...
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No, not for us. Not for us. I'd rather see João Felix, someone like that on loan, but just
João
I
Felix.
think Lukaku's... Yeah, I think that boat sailed, unfortunately.
We already have a Maguire at the back. We don't want another Maguire up front.
We don't want a Lukaku. Badges? We don't need your stinking badges. The same with Lukaku. We don't need your stinking Lukaku. Get back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
We don't want these Chelsea problems to be offloaded on us. So, big one. That's the finish. Well, let's close the VR room, guys. You've been fantastic. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in. Thank you for your brilliant VR panel. Thank you for the brilliant analysis. We had our say, and hopefully we made your day. What do we say? Peace, love, and go banana. But now we're saying peace, love. Thank God we have Onana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big up. Thank you, Phil. Good luck with your travels tomorrow. Have a nice holiday. Where you going to? Mallorca, was it?
Yeah, going to Mallorca. Yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait. So I'll be out of the picture for a couple of weeks, but I'll be once I'm back. I'll hopefully can't wait to be back, but can't wait to get there either. So
enjoy your holidays.
Enjoy.
You will see Pappi tomorrow, like stalking you. It's like, Pappi, what are you doing here? Like, oh, you forgot to pack me in the bag.
Right. Let's have sangria and paella.
That's it. Party.
For you.
Okay, let's close the party shop, people. Thank you all for tuning in. Jarvis, any final words from you?
No.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all, folks. Bye for now. Cheers. Bye for now. That's all.
Roast the Spurs.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.